Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you guys how I lost 25 pounds in the last year. This is one of the most sustainable, realistic approaches that I've had towards like a weight loss fitness journey. If you are familiar with my channel, this is not anything new. I have been posting fitness and weight loss journeys since the beginning of my channel. And some of them I had a very toxic mentality and mindset around weight loss and my body and the way that I ate and the way that I looked. I think I've come a long way. I've struggled with my weight my whole life. I've tried all the diets. I've yo-yoed literally my whole life. It's something I still struggle with every single day, and I feel like I will for the rest of my life. I can totally relate if you're in a similar place, and I hope that this video helps you in any kind of way. That is why I'm here and that's why I'm sharing. This is in no way medical advice. I'm not trying to push anything on anyone. This is simply what worked for me. I'm not someone who is ashamed of anything that I do. I will be doing other videos in the coming months and weeks about this topic, and you guys can ask me more questions and I can do more like specific dedicated videos about this. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below or let me know what other videos you guys would want to see in this category, and I will definitely film it for you guys. Without any further ado, let's get right into this video. So one thing I've always talked about in my channel has been progress photos and not focusing so much on the weight of the scale, and I can't say that enough. If you are going to get overwhelmed by the number on the scale, just don't weight yourself at all, because I have pictures of times in my life where I was 145 and times where I was 135 and I looked better at 145. Don't go by the number on the scale. I pick like a pair of jeans that are really tight on me when I first start my journey. I will just try those on like either weekly or bi-weekly or monthly, and I just start to feel the difference in how they fit. Also really like doing pictures, because with pictures I feel like you can really see the progress from like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, monthly, especially like the monthly ones are amazing. And I think it's a way more realistic representation of your actual weight loss and progress, because when you stand on the scale, like you can be bloated from having your period, you can be bloated from eating something very salty the night before, traveling, stress. My weight fluctuates so much, so I found that just not weighing myself was way better for my mental health in general. I would highly, highly recommend sticking to progress pictures and like a pair of jeans that you love or that you really like how they used to fit you, or some that fit you now that are gonna fit you really big in a couple months. The second thing was like the all or nothing approach. It was causing a lot of binging because I was restricting myself so much over like weeks and months, and that was just not sustainable. I referred to those days as like cheat meals or cheat days, and like to be honest, like I don't even think about that anymore. I don't count my calories. Like I'm just intuitively eating. There's days where I'm anxious and I eat a lot, because for me food has always been like a coping mechanism. So when I stopped restricting my eating so much and I was just focusing like on the 80-20 rule, eating as healthy and as clean as possible most of the time, then I don't mind if I go out and have french fries and wings and pizza. I will just stop when I'm getting full. I'll wait, I'll drink some water, and if I'm still hungry, I'll continue to eat. But before, I would literally just gobble food down until the point that I was so uncomfortable, and then I would be so upset at myself that I did that, and then I would feel guilty, go work out a bunch and be starving again, and then do it all over again. So it was just such an unhealthy cycle that I was in. Just kind of stopped labeling foods as like good and bad as much as I can, and not feel guilty when I'm eating certain foods. Like I just enjoy it for what it is. It's a night out, it's a birthday, it is what it is. It's not gonna completely throw me off. I'm just like indulging naturally, and it's not easy. It's like not a thing that you do overnight, but like I would just continue to be like, okay, no, I'm going back into that pattern. It's okay. Nothing's gonna happen from me skipping a workout. Nothing's gonna happen from me eating this burger. I will be fine. Another thing is really prioritizing my protein. I didn't actually realize like how little protein I was consuming at one point. People have like very, very different opinions on this, but like 0.8 to 1 gram of protein for each pound of body weight. If I weigh 140 pounds, then I should be consuming anywhere from like 130 to 140 grams of protein a day. And that's a lot of protein. That is anywhere from like 40 to 50 grams of protein per meal for each of the 3 meals, right? One egg is about 7 grams of protein. I had to figure out like, okay, I'm gonna have eggs, I'm gonna add some cottage cheese for extra protein, I'm gonna have some chicken sausages that I get at Costco, sourdough toast, Maybe I add a scoop of protein to my coffee. That is one of my favorite ways to add protein into my day. And protein from Whole Foods is always going to be better than like a protein shake or a protein bar. But if that's the only way that you can get your protein in, it's better to get it in that way than nothing. So if you're someone that's on the go and you really struggle to have your protein throughout the day, that is a really, really good way of doing it. Beef jerky sticks is also great. If you're on a journey of like losing weight and building muscle, is going to be the most important aspect of it all. You will not get the results that you want if you don't focus on your protein, especially, and what you're eating. On the topic of food, you also have to make your environment support your goals. This is one that's hard for me because I love sour candy and chips. Like, it is my favorite thing to snack on and it's my weakness. I have this thing that I do. I get those like clear containers with a lid and I would mix like 10 different sour candies, make like a trail mix of it. And I was going through this huge bin. I wouldn't even notice because I just had the bin in my pantry and I would go open the lid, grab a couple. By the time I realized I was consuming so much sugar and candy and I wasn't even noticing it. I really made it a point to not buy that anymore. I try to limit the chips as much as I can. I'll buy like the Siete chips, which are made with avocado oil, can be a little bit better, but like at the end of the day, they're still gonna be chips. I'm not restricting myself, but I'm trying to help my environment support my goals. So the less that I have that stocked at my house and I have like healthier snacks, the easier that it's gonna be for me and the food noise to actually like stay on track. I would really encourage you to have like sweet bell peppers, hummus, cucumbers, celery, carrot sticks, like things like that that you can just like resort to when you want to crunch, when you want to snack, when you want something to dip. And it's so much better to snack on that. It just helped me stop overeating and over snacking on unhealthy stuff. Not just not good for my progress, but like for my body. Like, I was consuming so much sugar. And I will say, like, over time, the less that you eat it, the less that you crave it. All about moderation and trying to change your habits little by little and not like doing everything cold turkey, because you're gonna binge and you're gonna go back to your old habits because it's just not sustainable. It's not the way that you've done it your whole life. And you simply just don't need to restrict 100%. My problem around candy and chips was not that I was consuming candy and chips. It was the amount of candy and chips that I was consuming. Another thing that I started doing was incorporating more red meats and fatty proteins and foods into my diet. So I used to never have steak. My protein sources consisted of tilapia, chicken breast, and ground turkey, and eggs, or egg whites at one point. I wouldn't even have eggs because I was like, oh, they have more fat because of the yolk. Like, I strictly just ate egg whites. The fats and the protein are the things that are gonna keep you full and satiated for longer. You have egg whites, like, I'm hungry in 20 minutes. Like, I ate them and I'm like, this did nothing to me. I've incorporated foods that have higher fats, higher protein, and that just keep me fuller for longer, because then that reduces the chances of me snacking throughout the day. I try to not have red meat more than once or twice a week. I usually get the grass-fed packs of ground beef from Costco. It's such an easy meal prep food, and it tastes really good reheated, because there are some things, like, I don't like to have salmon reheated. I like to have it fresh, like straight out the air fryer. But like ground beef, you can have it 3 days later and it's still gonna taste amazing. Another thing that I think is really important is signing up to a gym. So whether you like to do group classes or you like to go and lift on your own, I feel like when you actually are paying for a gym membership or you're paying for classes, then I think you're gonna be more consistent with your workouts. I built a gym at the house and I did cancel like the open gym because I was just like, oh, I have a Smith machine in the garage, I can just lift here, and I never use it. Like, I have been slacking so much on my weightlifting, so I do plan on changing that. Either I just get better about actually lifting in my garage, or I'm gonna sign up to a gym, because when you actually put your money and commit to it, you will stick to it. I have tried so many different workouts. I love just being active in general, but I think there's something so empowering about strength training and weightlifting for women that I will never, ever, ever stop lifting. All the research that shows all the benefits of actually weightlifting, long-term benefits, your joints, your muscles, longevity, but also just my day-to-day. Like, I'm able to do so much and I feel so strong in my body that I never want that feeling to go away. Like, not that I want to be like, I'm independent and I don't need anyone to help me, but like, genuinely, I redid my backyard and I carried like 80-pound bags of soil, which I know like that's a little bit extreme, but the fact that I know I can do that, it literally makes me feel like superwoman. Being able to do things in your day-to-day and not have to rely on other people because you are not strong enough to do it, like, it is one of the best things that I did for myself, that I continue to do and will continue to do for the rest of my life. Another thing is I started walking more. So I got a walking pad, I put it under my desk. I work a lot sitting down, so I just make it a point to get at least 10,000 steps a day. I don't get it every single day, but like there's days that I get more and there's days that I get less, so it kind of evens out. But if I'm gonna be standing there on my phone editing a video for TikTok, or if I'm gonna be answering emails, or if I'm gonna be scrolling through Instagram, instead of sitting on the couch, I just get up and I put my sneakers on. I walk at like a 3.4 miles per hour pace, nothing crazy. I'm not like necessarily breaking a sweat every time. And I just walk. So underrated and such a great way to add a little bit of activity to your day without putting any like stress on your joints, on your muscles. Like you're not gonna be sore from that. You can actually do it and not have any downtime or recovery time. So if you're someone that like doesn't even know where to start, you don't work out regularly, or you work out and you stop working out, just set something, like whether it's walking 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. Any movement is better than no movement. Know where you're at and meet yourself there. Don't try to start and like deadlift 300 pounds. And if you don't like doing something, don't do it. There are so many workouts that you can do that why are you going to spend your time on a spinning bike for 40 minutes if you don't actually enjoy it? You can do so many other things. Working out is not gonna be easy. In the beginning, especially, you're gonna hate it. You're gonna feel crappy. You're gonna feel tired. You're gonna feel like you're comparing yourself to the people around you. But once you get over that hump, it's usually like the 2 or 3 first weeks, then you start to feel stronger. You start to feel more confident, less intimidated. You start to get the hang of things. Then you're gonna be unstoppable. And last but not least, one of the biggest things that I implemented and that I feel like I can talk about in so many other videos, and there's so many other things that I can say about this because it truly has made such a big difference in my life in terms of food noise that I have and the cravings and the quality of life that I get to live because I am on this medication is just like completely different. And this is not to push this on anybody, but I'm just gonna be honest. I'm still taking a GLP-1 medication and it has completely changed how I think of food, how constantly I think of food, my constant obsession about food. It truly has changed my life. I feel like that is one of the main reasons why I was able to achieve the goals that I did in the last couple of months. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that all other things were like the most important and then this one wasn't. But like at the end of the day, when we used to say like there's no magic pill, like no, technically now there is somewhat of a magic pill, but like you can also use it in the wrong ways, right? If you're taking GLP-1, but you're not working out, you're not eating your protein, you're not staying active and drinking your water and following like healthy habits, you are gonna be in a really bad spot. If you really wanna do it the right way and long-term and for it to be sustainable, you also have to put in the work because these medications will not change your bad habits. Like they will help you to be thinking about food less, craving food less, like all of that, and they will help you over time lose weight. But if you get off that medication and you didn't fix any of your bad habits and your eating habits or anything like that, you will go back to your old ways and you will probably gain more weight than what you lost and where you were at. So if you guys want, I will do a whole video on GLP-1s and my journey and my experience with it. I've tried multiple ones and I do have some tips and tricks that I've learned along the way that I feel like have really changed my experience with it, and things that I wish I knew, things that I had no idea were gonna happen, and where I'm at with it. So I'm happy to do a video if you guys are interested. I know you guys are gonna want that because I feel like everybody has questions about this and everyone has their thoughts. People are allowed to have whatever thoughts they want, but like I don't care. I did it for myself and it's something I'm not ashamed of and no one should be ashamed of. That is pretty much all I will say about that in this video. But like, I just simply can't sit here and say that that did not play a huge, massive role in my recent weight loss. Alrighty guys, so that is it for this video. I know it was probably a little bit all over the place. I don't even know how many points I talked about at this point, but I will do a couple other videos following up this one. And if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. You can also leave me any video recommendations that you guys would want to see. Thank you guys so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, or you found it helpful, or you were able to relate in any way, like I see you, I feel you, I know weight loss can be so hard and it can really take such a toll on your body and your mental health. I can help in any way, like I'm so happy to do so. I am gonna wrap up for now, but thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below, and I will see you guys later.